Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Kent City Council meeting for November 21st, 2023, our second to the last council meeting of the year, second to the last council meeting that we'll have Councilmember Thomas here. So, we got to acknowledge those kinds of things. Thank you all for joining us. If you could all rise and join me for the flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Kim, could you please call the roll?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mayor Ralph.
Here.
Council President Boyce.
Here.
Councilmember Fincher.
Here.
Councilmember Kaur.
Here.
Councilmember Larmer.
Here.
Councilmember Michaud. Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
Councilmember Troutner.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Next item is the approval of the agenda. Do we have changes this evening?
We do. We have one change. We need to add an item number 8, V as in Victor, for an excused absence for Councilmember Michaud.
All right. Thank you. So with that change, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So move. Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you very much. All right, we are going to move straight into public communications. We have several proclamations this evening. I am going to step down to the podium up there, read the proclamation, then ask the recipient of the proclamation to come up and join us. We will do a picture very quickly and then ask you to say a few words about the proclamation. All right, the first proclamation we have this evening is for Arbor Day. I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation and then ask Margaret Wagner to come up and join us. Margaret and I have an ongoing conversation. I am not good with titles, so I make one up every time I see her. She's our amazing natural resources expert, so we'll call that will be the title for this.
It's a new position. Nobody's quite sure.
She does a fantastic job with all of our volunteer work and keeping our natural areas, invasive species free and all those kinds of things in education. So really grateful for you in this role. And I'll read the proclamation and have you come up and say a few words.
Sounds great.
Whereas Arbor Day was established in 1872, and whereas the City of Kent recognizes the value of trees in making the city environmentally sound and aesthetically pleasing, which promotes good business and sense of community. And whereas the City of Kent established a tree ordinance and a tree maintenance crew for the purpose of maintaining, protecting, and regulating street trees for beautification of the city. And whereas in recognition of its commitment to trees and the environment, the City of Kent has been named Tree City USA by the National Arbor Foundation every year since 2003, making it our 21st anniversary. And whereas the City of Kent continues to engage the community through annual volunteer events that beautify and conserve valuable trees and natural areas and parks, and whereas 2023 marks Kent's 133rd year as an incorporated city, now therefore I, Dana Ralph, Mayor of Kent, do hereby proclaim November 7th, 2023 to be Arbor Day in the City of Kent, and I encourage all residents to consider planting a tree or caring for a tree on their property, to take a moment to enjoy the trees in our local parks and appreciate the beautiful green open spaces and forests that we enjoy here in the Northwest. I also want to say thank you to everyone that joined us for our Arbor Day planting and environmental restoration efforts at Morrow Meadows Park, one of my favorite parks in the city, on Saturday, November 4th. We'll do a quick picture and then...
More than I have.
There we go.
Something over us.
Thank you.
Yeah. You got it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
We're gonna go one more.
1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks.
I'll keep this quick. I know you guys have quite a lineup, and I'm first off the bat. I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. Thank you to Councilmember Michaud, who was there to welcome our volunteers who deserve the most thanks. for, I think, the rainiest and we'll go with most efficient volunteer event we've ever had, because we got that tree planted in about half an hour before lightning shut us down. So yes, just sincere thanks to everybody for the support of our program and the events, and there will be more next year, and we will turn this all in to meet our Tree City USA requirements for another year, yet another year. Thank you.
If you haven't had an opportunity to volunteer for one of our events, I highly recommend it. Fabulous for families. We have lots of high school students that come out, and always a great opportunity to learn about what our native plants are, what the invasive species are, how we take care of our parks. And the honest answer is we have amazing park system in the city of Kent, but we can't do it by ourselves. So we really need that volunteer help. So stay tuned as we head into next year for opportunities to volunteer to help keep our parks amazing. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. All right, the next proclamation we have is for Native American Heritage Month, and Mike Evans is going to be joining us this evening. Mike, I have a list of titles here that go along with you, and I'm going to let you introduce them because I don't want to mispronounce this very first one on my list. I think it's important that we get that right, and I just want to say thank you for being here, and we'll do the same thing, but grateful for your commitment to our city for many, many years. Okay, the proclamation says, whereas Native American Heritage Month is recognized annually to honor Indigenous cultures, histories, traditions, art, and achievements, and whereas in the face of broken treaties, violent displacement, and genocide, Native Americans have persevered and continued with remarkable strength, resistance, resilience, and self-determination. And whereas Native Americans, including local Muckleshoot, Duwamish, and many others, have been protectors and stewards of our natural resources and environment since time immemorial. And whereas the City of Kent values the many contributions made to society by Native people in technology, science, philosophy, the arts, and especially our local Indigenous volunteers and leaders. And whereas the City of Kent recognizes that we must work to combat the impacts of discrimination and racist policies on Native people, past and present, and eliminate inequities stemming from colonization. And whereas Native American Awareness Week began in 1976 and recognition was expanded by Congress and approved by President George Bush in August 1990, designating the month of November as National American Indian Heritage Month. Now, therefore, I, Dana Ralph, Mayor of Kent, do hereby proclaim November 2023 as Native American Heritage Month in Kent, Washington, and encourage all residents, as well as our elected representatives, to recognize and commemorate the important contributions that Native American people have made to our country and our community.
Councilmember.
Nice. Love that. All right. Here we go. 1, 2,
Fromage.
3. We're going to do one like this. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys.
Did that too, and if you'd like to say a few words, that would be wonderful.
All right. When the mountains were young, the first people were here. When the ancient forests were but little seedlings, the first people were here. And as long as the water runs from those mountains down through the forest and out to the sea, the first people will be here. And so this land is inhabited by our ancestors to the extent that when they died, their DNA is in the ground. And the plants, including the trees, sucked up that DNA. And so our ancestors are still here. We don't have as many trees here as we used to have a few years ago when this was a forest. And so I live here in the city of Kent, and you want me to go through all that titles? So I lived here on Scenic Hill, where my dad and I built the house, and I was a firefighter at the time, and I've been a firefighter for more than 30 years, with the city of Kent and obtained the rank of captain and the title of assistant fire marshal. So I was doing plan review at the time. A few other titles, chair of the Snohomish Tribe of Indians, currently vice president of the Greater Kent Historical Society, also president of Snohomish Cultural and Family Services. In my spare time, I'm the father of a canoe and have a canoe family, do song and dance. I've taught language class, the Lushootseed language that's here. And in my spare time, I've been carving a welcome figure for the city of Kent. And it's headless right now because we got to figure out how to make sure it stays attached. And we're in the process of doing that now. So hopefully by the end of the year, that'll be permanently fixed to the welcome figure. Talk to me about welcome figures a little bit later on if you want. Why a welcome figure and not a totem? Not enough time. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much.
So there is a fabulous People of Kent story that talks a lot about the work that you're doing and your commitment to our city, and I am grateful for that. Again, check out the welcome figure. It's something that the Historical Society has been partnering on for quite some time, and allows, during the carving, allows for storytelling time, and we're grateful for you passing your knowledge on to our community. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, our last proclamation is Small Business Saturday. So a lot of people I've talked to in the last week say Thanksgiving is this week. It snuck up on us. We're already here. Thanksgiving is coming, which means that also Small Business Saturday is coming, and it's all about supporting our local businesses. So, got a proclamation for Small Business Saturday, and joining us tonight is Gayla Haas, our Executive Director of Kent Downtown Partnership. Whereas the City of Kent celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 32.5 million small businesses in the United States, and small businesses make up a significant portion of Kent's downtown core. And whereas over 95% of Kent's businesses have less than 100 employees, yet comprise 62% of our community's jobs. And whereas 2/3 of Kent businesses employ less than 10 people, and whereas consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday agree that shopping at small, independently owned business support their commitment to making purchases that have a positive social, economic, and environmental impact, and agree that small businesses are essential to their community. And whereas most consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday report the day makes them want to shop and eat at small, independently owned businesses all year long, not just during the holiday season. And whereas the City of Kent supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our community. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, Dana Ralph, Mayor of Kent, do hereby proclaim November 25th, 2023 as Small Business Saturday in Kent, Washington, and urge our residents and our communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday. So that's my challenge to you as you're thinking about shopping. It's very, very easy for all of us to get on our phone and our app and push a button and have something come to our door. Those same products and probably higher quality and more unique products are available at businesses all around downtown Kent and all in whatever community that you live in. I want to challenge you to make a concerted effort to think about ways to support small businesses. And like the proclamation says, not just this Saturday, but that's kind of the starting point, but think about it all year long. I will tell you, I'm guilty. It's super easy to have that box delivered to my front door. Taking the extra time to support a local business brings not just the package that you're buying, it brings so many other things, supporting families, supporting our community. That's the challenge. And my hope is that you accept that and that, you let us know where you shopped and what you bought. And, it's a great time as Christmas is coming, as you're doing that shopping, to really, really dig in and support our local businesses. So now you know the drill.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Say a few words. I will. Thank you so much.
I don't always remember what I'm going to say, so I wrote a few things down. Well, first of all, I wanted to say thank you, Mayor Ralph and Council. I'm honored to accept the proclamation for Small Business Saturday in Kent. And on behalf of all the businesses in historic downtown Kent and beyond, I want to express our sincere gratitude for this recognition. The proclamation serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of supporting small business, which is essential to our community. And it's not just a day, it's a celebration of the entrepreneurial spirit, the diversity of our local offerings, and the unique character of the small businesses that the small businesses bring to our city. And as we acknowledge this special day, we also recognize the efforts of all the hardworking entrepreneurs, artisans, service providers who contribute to the economic and cultural vitality to our community. KDP pledges to continue our commitment of supporting the small businesses and fostering a welcoming environment in Kent. And thank you again, Mayor and council members, for your continued support of the small businesses. And also much gratitude to all the residents of Kent for choosing to shop small. It really, really does make a big difference. But not just for this designated day, but throughout the year. And as Mayor Ralph has said, it's so important to the fabric of our community. And just to amplify her challenge, every purchase that you make is a vote for supporting a vibrant and thriving community. So I appreciate your support of all the small businesses who are working so hard. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving and a good shopping day.
Thank you. All right, the next item we have under public communication is a presentation. So who doesn't love a big check? Like the actual big checks. I think they are so much fun. And generally attached to that big check is a group, an organization who has a heart for service and is wanting to do something to support an organization. They're usually for good things. And so this next presentation we have is a presentation from our City of Kent Giving Campaign. Our employees at the City of Kent, they not only work here, but they have a heart for service and want to support our community. So we have annual events all year long that raise money for local organizations. This year, the support is for Children's Therapy Center. And I'm going to ask Ron Lashley and crew to come on up as we present the big check from our annual giving campaign, which was on Halloween this year. You probably saw some of the fabulous pictures of the costumes. And it actually made it into the newspaper. So Kent Reporter took some of those pictures and put them in the Reporter that were on our social media. But it was a fun event for a really good purpose. I'm grateful for our committee members that help put the event on and for all of our employees that come and participate because the outcome is pretty impressive. So Ron, I'm going to ask you to come up and tell a little bit about the journey here, and then we'll do some pictures.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Right, we're very passionate about what we do as far as raising funds and picking organizations that we would donate these funds to. And this year, it was brought to our attention by Jens, who I'm actually going to ask to come up here and give a little personal talk about this particular organization. But, because of him, we decided this would be a great cause to build around, and that's exactly what we did this year.
My name is Jens Vincent. I'm the drainage manager for the City of Kent. I'm going to do my best to maintain some composure here. This charity means a lot to me. This organization means a ton to me. I was, until just a few years ago, a licensed foster parent. The number of children that came through my home with my wife and I, it's countless. We had a number of them. and many of them needed the help of children's therapy centers. What amazed me about this organization is that they met my wife where she needed them. They came into our home. Sometimes that was on the floor in our living room. And we had a full house. We always kept, we probably had 4 or 5 kids at a time at times. And it was a busy home. And those children needed help. And the organization, they came to our home. They loved our children. They were patient with our children. And whether that was on the living room floor, or at the dining room table, or at the high chair, wherever the high chair was at the time, could have been anywhere. They were there. They loved our kids. And the service they provide our community and the love and care that they give the children of our community it's tough to measure. But it meant the world to me, and this organization means the world to me, and that's why I push so hard to have this organization as our giving campaign organization this year.
So we can have the representatives from Children's Therapy come on up.
We'll do a picture, but I want Jen's to do the check.
Okay. We want you to so you come over here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like I have to bend down. I probably don't. Good evening, everyone. I'm the CEO of Children's Therapy Center. My name is Nichelle Brown. I was getting emotional because this is the work that we do at Children's Therapy Center. Many of you may not know we have 4 locations between South King County and Pierce County where we are stewarding and supporting families every single day of the week and following them where they're at. And not getting in front of them, but behind them and all around them so that they can reach the potential that they see in their children's lives and for their family. We're so grateful for any penny that we get that is in the direction of the work that we do because it goes into our communities like Kent, and it goes directly to our families so that we can continue to build them up and so that we can continue to also enlarge ourselves. Our passion and our devotion is to be everywhere we could possibly be, and especially in those areas where we don't see a lot of these services. And so we're committed to South King County, we're committed to Pierce County, and that's to make sure that we're fully servicing families in the direction that they see fit, not what we see. So thank you again so much. We look forward to continuing to stay in Kent. We've been in Kent for over 40 years, since 1979. And we pride ourselves on serving over 3,000 children a year. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Councilmember Thomas.
Guys, don't go away. Hello?
Hello?
I want to personally thank you. I owe you a great deal of gratitude. My son Lee was born 40-some years ago, and in that early part of 1979, you guys were just getting started. My son was one of the first clients in there, and he had been born with the cord around his neck. And so we took him to Children's Therapy Center, and they did all kinds of exercises. They taught us how to do it, too, for him. And he's now an attorney in Kent here. So he's done really well. I want to thank you very much. It really meant a lot to our family to have you guys there and helping. So thank you again.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that.
So thank you to all of our employees that participate in raising these funds. I promise there is a small check that follows up the big check. And like I said, I might be a little biased, but I feel like our employees here at the City of Kent they're world class. And what you saw tonight is just a little window into the heart that they have for this community, why they choose to work here so that they can serve our community. And this is one of those outward examples of that commitment to Kent. So thank you to all of our employees. Thank you so much for the work that you do and taking care of our families and our children. It means the world to not only their parents, their foster parents, their larger families, but to us as a community, because we see the outcomes. So thank you. All right, we are moving on under public communications. So council members, in your packet, there is a roster, has 18 names on it. Many years ago, we started what we called the Cultural Communities Board, and it was really an effort to connect our diverse communities to city government, build relationships, and create sort of that two-way conversation. So the city had information we wanted to make sure our communities were receiving, and our community members had important things they wanted to make sure that the city was receiving, and that's where the Cultural Communities Board was born. Over the last many months, we've been working with that board to sort of just determine what's the next steps. What does Cultural Communities Board look like going into the future? And collectively, they have decided that they are going to be our Kent Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and Belonging Board. We also separately have had a Race and Equity Board that has been dedicated to work with the police department. So these two groups are going to be merging, and like I said, we've got a roster of 18 names. Some of these are people that are brand new to working on boards and commissions here in the City of Kent, and some of the names you will recognize, but they're on your consent calendar for approval of confirmation of their appointments. So hoping that council will approve those appointments with consent calendar tonight, and want to say thank you to all of our new DEBI board members. All right, that brings us to community events. Council President.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A very special recognition with the public recognition, so a lot of great proclamations, so thank you very much for sharing that. So, community event is going on at Showware Accessory Center here. We got the Thunderbirds playing the Rockets, Thunderbirds playing the Blaze. We have Pepe Aguilar on November 25th. December 7th, we have the Wolf Hometown Holiday. December 9th, Tacoma Stars home opener coming up. December 28th, 29th, they got a gut check wrestling tournament. This was very successful last year, and it's coming back again. January 26th, the Harlem Globetrotter. February 17th, Toby Matt Hit Deep Tour 2024. April 4th, Mercy Me, and then last but not least, April 10th, 11th, Paw Patrol Live, Hero United. Sounds good, Brenda?
We'll have to do that one, Council.
All right, sounds good. So that's what's going on at Accessory Showware Center. Please take a moment to go on their website, www.accessoryshowarecenter.com. Lots of wonderful events is coming this way. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Thunderbirds are playing really well, so catch a game if you have not had an opportunity. And I am telling you, I'm very much looking forward to Hometown Holiday. Yes. It's a great lineup this year. Fabulous event at Showware Center. Councilmember Fincher.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. New exhibit is up over across the parking lot in Centennial Center. So go over there, see some great art. It's free, your own gallery right here in downtown Kent. And Showware, the Spotlight Series. So on December 3rd, it's the 37th annual Magical Strings, the annual Celtic Christmas show that comes to Kent. That is there, and one that I am seriously looking forward to. I have my ticket. That show is almost sold out, by the way. But this one is approaching the same point, and it's the Queen's Cartoonist Holiday Hurrah Yule, Y-U-L-E. You'll love it. So that one looks like a lot of fun. They're going to have live actors playing along the screen. There's animated cartoons that are showing, but the live actors, there's music to go along with it. The actors are also involved in this production. So it's a comedy, looking forward to good things. Lots of other shows, great value, great entertainment. Check it out. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are going to move on the agenda. Item number 5 is reports. So each one of the members of the council that you see sitting up here, not only do they attend the meetings here at council meetings and committee meetings, but they also are part of regional committees, which means that the City of Kent's voice is at regional tables as decisions are being made, as funding is being granted, as policy is being set. It's very, very important that we, those that represent the city, are at those tables and in those conversations to make sure that our voice is being heard. So very, very grateful for the commitment from all of our council members. I do have 4 quick reports tonight. First one is Regional Policy Council or Regional Policy Committee. I sit on that through SCA. We've had several meetings, special meeting on Monday. King County Council was given the authority by the legislature to leverage a 0.1% sales tax for arts and culture. They are in the process of doing that. They've not had the final vote, but it does look like it's going to be passing. At Regional Policy Committee this week, we talked about the allocations for that money. So we know that 2/3 of the population of King County live outside of the city of Seattle, which means that 2/3 of that money should leave the city of Seattle. That's not necessarily how the conversations are going, but I can tell you that cities are advocating for a dedicated percentage to be set aside for arts and culture organizations that are not in Seattle proper. Right now, the proposal is 22%. I do know that there's amendments coming for our meeting next Monday of both 25 and 30%. So hopeful that we can get that dedicated funding to make sure that our arts and culture organizations have access to the funding. It's going to be money collected in the city of Kent, so really we need to come bring that money back to support our cities. So I will keep you posted on that. Transportation Policy Board, when we met this month, continuing to work on scoring. So we have been very, very successful as a city in bringing that transportation funding back. We're looking at how scoring is being done. The committee has been focused on 3 primary areas: climate, safety, and equity. Still working through what does it mean if we change up the way things are scored, and making sure that it doesn't favor some types of organizations over others, continuing to have conversations around that, and we'll stay engaged in that conversation. We also had a report on the equity pilot. So $6 million of federal highway dollars was set aside for an equity pilot. So the Equity Advisory Committee at PSRC, Puget Sound Regional Council, has reviewed transportation projects, and they're going to make funding recommendations. Kent is one of the small number of jurisdictions that applied, so I feel really good about our opportunity in getting some of that money, and then a report out from the Equity Advisory Committee on how we make sure, how we make sure that equity is built into scoring criteria. SCIP, South County Housing and Homeless Partnership, we met last week, and we are made final determinations on funding. So really excited to have that housing money. Something when SCIP was brought together just 4 or 5 years ago, I don't think any of us believed there would be a funding stream, and then 1406 and 1590 money came, and the City of Kent contributes that money to SCIP, our South County, and we've got 2 projects that are going to be funded in the City of Kent this year. So excited about that opportunity. Final thing I want to report on, had an opportunity to attend a great event at East Hill Elementary last week. It is their 70th birthday. My father attended East Hill Elementary. I attended East Hill Elementary. It was so much fun to see kids. There were performances, there was food, families, and generations of families who had attended East Hill Elementary. So, and they somehow managed to dig up pictures of me in the 3rd and 4th grade, and had those on display for everyone to see. So that was a little bit, no, I was not expecting that, but I want to say happy 70th birthday to East Hill Elementary. Really proud of what their commitment to this community. So with that, I'm going to look to my right to our Chief Administrative Officer, Pat Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. One update tonight, just a reminder that we have a special meeting on Tuesday of next week at 5 p.m. to handle the bridges annexation. And this has been a long time coming. This should be the final act of this multiple chapter story. I want to just thank the Law Department, ECD, and Public Works for all the work they've done. So just a reminder about the meeting, and we should have that wrapped up, and the annexation will be effective as of January 1st, which was our target, which makes all the documentation and transfer of ownership really smooth when you can do it on the first of the year. So very grateful for our staff they've put a tremendous amount of work into this process. So we're at the end here, and just appreciate that. So other than that, my report is in the council packet, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Council President.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think we should have an opportunity to see your third grade pictures. I think that'd be nice to kind of see the display of that, see how much you changed over the years. Let's see here. Tonight we had our operation meeting. One of the big things came out, it was the 2024 tax levy and the Biden budget. We moved that forward. Once again, a great job by our finance team, and we'll be passing that later on in our consent calendar. We also had a couple of grants from the solid waste management, and then also Leighton Reading looking at the vegetation management process. We also, during our workshop, we had the new King County Executive Director for the King County Ancestral Salt Resource, KSART, Kate Crew, introduced her tonight, and she was introduced by one of the board members, former Kent City Councilman Dennis Higgins. So it was nice to see him as well, too. We also have the Green River update. Came from Mike Patooth, did a really good job. Really just talk about just pretty much just keeping it clean, keeping our water clean, and the thing they're doing around with the dams and so on. So excellent job done by the team. Also, Silent City Association, we have our annual meeting on December 6th at 5:30, and that's at the Renton Community Center. So if you haven't signed up, please do so. And then on the December 13th, we'll be having our last SCA meeting of the year. That's at 7 o'clock. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
And I'm going to start with you. Councilmember Court, please.
Thank you, Council President. I do not have any reports. I serve on 3 regional committees. I also serve on Association of Washington City's Federal Policy Committee, and we are meeting next week. I did attend National League of Cities Conference in Atlanta, and I sent out a summary to your emails. So please review it, and if you have any questions, reach out. That is my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Court. Councilmember Larmer.
I serve on 1 regional committee, and we did not meet this month, so I will have, depending on the timing, I actually may not have a report till January.
Okay.
Depending on next
Thank
month.
you. Councilmember Troutner.
Thank you, Council President. I am chair of, or subject matter chair of the Economic and Community Development Committee. We did not have anything earlier this evening, but Council did meet with the Land Use and Planning Board last Monday, the 13th, and we had an opportunity to look at some options and ask questions and share comments about our comprehensive plan and what we want this city to look like over the next 20 years. So really great meeting, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity for us to come together and have more meetings like that. I am also on the Regional Transit Committee. We met on November 15th. We had a briefing on the Metro service updates, and then we also moved forward the system evaluation plan. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Troutner. Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you, Council President. I serve on the Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority, along with our president and also Councilmember Troutner. And our biggest thing actually is we've been working for months to try to get some property on what would be the east side of the tracks, Union Pacific. And we just needed to get a fire station over there. And it looks like in the last hours that we've come through some negotiations that will allow us to purchase a property. So things are looking good for that. Everything else, well, there is something else. That was our last meeting at Station 78 out in Covington. The next meeting, and Tony, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's at Station 74, and it's at 5:30, and I believe that's it. That's the one, the main one on 116th, if you're familiar with fire department locations. So that's all I have, Your Honor. Or Mr. Chairman?
I could be Your Honor, too. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Councilmember Thomas. Councilmember Fincher.
Thank you very much. I already mentioned for the Arts Committee that the new show is up over in the Centennial Building for Public Works. In addition to the couple that have already been mentioned, we also had a report on the a grant for recycling management. So thanks to the Ecology Department, that's where we get some of the funding for those recycling events that we have on the Fridays and Saturdays. And then we also had a reminder, there's going to be new signage going up in the Panther Lake area. So please be aware, look for the new signage. It's just basically housekeeping, making sure all of the signage is, some of the old signs are there still from King County. So we're going to have all of our Kent signs, all of the speed limits will be marked, all of the no parking zones will be marked, everything is going to be marked, and it's going to be consistent without the area as we go through and get everything done. And then the King Conservation District and the Mental Illness and Drug Advisory Council will meet next month, so I'll have a report after that.
Thank you, Councilman Fincher. Madam Mayor, that ends our report.
All right, thank you very much. All right, item number 6 is public hearing. We do not have one this evening. Kim, do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
We do not.
All right, that brings us down to the consent calendar. We have items A through V. The consent calendar is a compilation of items that council has considered at both workshop and committee of the whole, and they've had an opportunity to have presentations, ask questions, receive input, and these items that are on consent calendar have moved out of committee of the whole without controversy. So again, we have items A through V. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve item A through V.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, motion carries 6-0. I do want to call out a couple of things that are on the consent calendar. First, I want to say thank you to the council for your approval of our mid-biennium budget adjustment. That, as we've heard many times, that mid-biennium budget adjustment is an opportunity to true up our projections as well as address issues that have come up in the last year. New requirements for funding, programs that we were unable to anticipate. Our finance team did an amazing job putting all that together and walking you all through this. Again, I just want to say thank you to the council for your support on this mid-biennium budget adjustment, and thank you to our wonderful team in finance for making it all happen. So we are very, very grateful for that. The other item I want to point out on consent is the approval of the legislative agenda. We have, again, talked about this many, many times. Public safety continues to be the #1 issue that we hear about from our community. And our legislative agenda is going to help move that forward and highlight it for our legislature. So we will be working with them to find a path to funding our public safety system here in Kent, which means taking us from hopefully one of the lowest in officers per capita up into the middle. We're not aiming for pie in the sky. We are really just looking to get to the middle here and continuing to work with our legislative delegation on this, and then branching out and speaking to other legislators as we head into the legislative session there just after the first week in January. So thank you for your support on that, Council. It's really, really important, and I am grateful. We do not have any other business. We don't not have any other any bids. Council President Boyce, do you want to? All right.
No, just reminding you. That's all. You good?
Thank you. Got the best teammates up here. Everybody taking care of each other. We are headed into the Thanksgiving holiday. And while the holiday itself means different things to different people, what my hope is that you all take the opportunity to think about what we are grateful for. Each one of us has so many things to be thankful for. It's always really easy, and I am guilty of this, to think about all the things that are going wrong, all the issues and the bad things, but we live in an amazing place. We live in an amazing community, in an amazing country. We all have a lot of really good things going on in our life, and my hope is that on Thursday you take some time to remember and say out loud the things that you're thankful for. There's a lot of them. Even in the worst of times, there's still many, many things to be grateful for. So I'm going to tell you, I am grateful for this council, for the fact that they work together so well, that we as a team work together so well, for all of our city employees, and the amazing work that they do every single day for our entire community. So I want to wish everyone a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Remember to shop small on Saturday. Get all those things checked off your Christmas list. And yeah, have a wonderful rest of your week. Happy Thanksgiving, and we are adjourned.
Okay.